Alright guys, I am doing this only because somebody asked me to do this based on another video they saw on an owner with his new 2020 Super Duty. That works. And that works. Apparently somebody had some issue with their glove box. No, I don't see any issue with the glove box in this truck. Alright guys, so we've been on the road now, I'm guessing probably about 30-40 minutes. And I've had the opportunity to drive the truck over several different types of roads, mainly paved interstate and paved rural roads. But, you know, the truck from a power perspective is phenomenal. The 10-speed torque shift transmission does a phenomenal job of taking the power from the engine, getting it to the back tires in a way that's very smooth and seamless. I do notice that if you are under hard acceleration or even soft acceleration, depending on how you're driving it, it will skip gears, which is what it's intended to do. I'm going to be interested to see how it shifts whenever we're towing trailers and going off-road. But to have 10 gears that you can shift through really gives this truck the capability of being in the right gear at the right time, not just for the best efficiency, but also to improve fuel economy. And that's going to be kind of the benefit you get of a 10-speed transmission. You're going to be in the right gear at the right time to utilize the power coming out of the engine most appropriately, while at the same time giving you better fuel economy because it's not overworking the engine or at an RPM range that isn't quite as economic as another one might be. Also, what I've noticed is under hard acceleration, there's not a tremendous amount of turbo lag. Actually, there's very little. And we took off a couple times now, and if I nail it down, the truck just goes. And as you get off of it, you get to hear your turbo a little bit more too, which I really like. If you have the windows down, which we're not going to roll down now, or otherwise it'll be too loud, but you get a really good distinctive turbo whine that comes along with it, while at the same time not transferring much of that sound into the cab. The cab of this truck, just like a lot of these newer, more luxury trimmed and luxury-based trucks, it's very quiet. It's a very comfortable, very dampened sound inside. We're going over bumps, we're hitting different expansion joints and things like that. You don't hear things moving around, you don't hear panels creaking. One thing I really like about the direction the automotive industry has gone in, whether it's a foreign-built vehicle or a domestic-built vehicle now, is the focus on fit and finish, the focus on tolerances between panels and how tight things fit together. And this truck is a good example of that because it feels very tight. It feels very well put together, and it doesn't feel like it's going to rattle apart the first time you hit a dirt road, which we are about to hit. So we are coming up to the end of pavement and the beginning of gravel. And you can always tell you're moving to gravel when you're behind a belly dump semi-truck, which is in front of this Super Duty that's in front of us. We were advised to zigzag a little bit on here to avoid
I just slow down a little bit.
The dust plume.
Let them get a little further ahead of us. You really can't see.
Yeah, you really can't see at all. But here's a perfect example. You hear a couple rocks and pebbles hitting the side of the truck, but the truck feels completely tight. It doesn't feel as if there's anything loose or anything that's rattling. And I'm going to say that's pretty much the same across most new vehicles now, but again, it's just the direction the industry's gone. I remember 15 years ago, if you bought a truck and you took it over a road like this, something would be rattling. But now it's just a very, very luxurious feel. And there's a lot to be said about that. From a ride perspective, you know, I've gotten a lot of people commenting that they've seen new owners of the 2020 model saying that the ride is much smoother than the outgoing 2019 or 2017 through 2019. You know, I'm not going to say anything negative against the truck, but I don't think that's really the case. I think they've tuned the suspension a little bit, but it doesn't feel dramatically different to me. I had a 250, I've had a 350, and I've had a 450. These are heavy-duty trucks. I mean, these are not half-ton trucks. If you want the smooth luxury sedan ride of a truck, you're going to have to get a half-ton truck. A 3/4-ton truck, a 1-ton single rear wheel or dual rear wheel truck is going to have a little bit of firmness to it, and it's going to have stiffer suspension because you need that stiffer suspension to be able to support the weight of a plow you might put up front or a trailer you put in the back, because these are designed to haul more cargo. But in my opinion, to be completely honest, I do not believe that it's a a big improvement in overall ride comfort, but I didn't expect it to be. These are, again, 3/4 ton, 1 ton trucks. It's definitely a much smoother ride than 3/4 ton trucks of 10, 15 years ago. But as far as, it being a big difference between a 2017, 18, 19 truck to 20, I don't feel a huge difference in ride comfort. It's pretty much the same.
It's a good air filter test.
Yeah, it is. Now we're picking up some speed on this dirt road. And you know what? If you're in Texas, this is the type of road you drive on if you're in the oil field. And you drive 60 miles an hour like we're doing. This is a perfect example of what we would call Caliche Road in Texas whenever you're going to different oil field sites. And you want a truck that feels solid. This truck feels solid. Shoot, I've been on roads like this in trucks where it gets so rough you crack your windshield. But so far, I am very impressed with the driving dynamics of this truck. We are going 60 miles an hour on this dirt road, and it is not a soft road. Now, I know this is nothing compared to the Ford Proving Grounds up in Michigan, but it's a good example of that washboard type effect that a lot of people will subject these trucks through, especially if it's going to be in a fleet. All right, guys, so we have stopped at our first waypoint. This is where we're going to do a driver switch and take a look at this Platinum truck from the outside. Got more trucks coming up. This is a dusty road for sure. Now they're coming up to change places. Hey, buddy.